Hi, my name is Colin Briggs, and I'm interviewing my mom today over the subject of temporary death. It's come to my knowledge that her father has a first-hand experience with this, and I would like to receive his testimony today from her, if that's possible. But before we go into depth, I would like to ask you, what is your definition in your own words of what temporary death is?
Calling temporary death to me is just that. It's death that is only temporary.
So, in a sense, it is when somebody dies and comes back to earth alive.
Yes, that's what I believe.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, can we talk about your dad's experience?
Of course, I'd be glad for you to ask anything you need to.
Okay. So let's get started. What's the first thing you remember?
When my dad was 53 years old, he suffered a massive heart attack, and of course they took him to the hospital immediately, and they took him into the emergency room, which the nurses and doctors allowed us to come in there and give him a kiss. They knew it was really bad. And just right after that, they took us to a meeting room. And when we turned around and to look at him just one more time, we saw the nurse literally straddle on top of him and start giving him chest compressions. And we knew it was bad.
Okay. So what one can infer, what I presume, is that he went into surgery and he's alive and well today. So he passed that with flying colors, right?
Yes.
So, what was the surgery called?
He had a double bypass. Which
Pretty lengthy surgery.
Absolutely. It was several hours.
Okay. So how did you get his testimony when he came out of that surgery?
Well, when he initially came out of the surgery, they put him in intensive care in the ICU unit. And the nurses were in there, and he had all these tubes from his mouth and his nose, so he wasn't able to
So
verbally
if
communicate.
he couldn't talk, then how'd you get it out of him?
He was able to write notes, and the first note that he wrote was that he had a great nurse, but the second note that he wrote was in huge capital letters was that he saw Jesus, which really dumbfounded my mother and I, because we couldn't believe it.
Right.
And after we were going, what are you talking about? He wrote down there that he was ready to go, but he needed more time.
More time on this earth?
More time on earth. And at that point, the nurse could tell that he was going into a little distress, and we needed to leave. Our visit was over.
Okay.
But then when he was finally able to be moved into his own room
To where he could talk.
and they had removed the tubes from the surgery and everything, we asked him again, tell us more about this note that you wrote us, that you saw Jesus. And he said, I did. I actually saw the face of Jesus and the full body of Jesus. And it was miraculous.
So, did your father and Jesus have a talk or a conversation?
No, Daddy said that Jesus didn't speak directly to him. He was looking off in the distance. Jesus was looking off in the distance, not directly at my dad.
Okay.
And so he took that as a mental telepathy, if you will, that his communication with Jesus was that it was not his time to die yet, that he had more of a purpose on earth to complete.
Okay.
And at that moment, that's when he came back.
I appreciate you sharing that personal story with us.
You're welcome.
Based on the research that I've compiled and the articles and the testimonies that I've heard, your father's included, people have gone to heaven and come back to earth alive. But do you feel that there are some people on this earth who have had experiences of temporary death but not gone to heaven, rather hell?
I honestly, I can't answer that. I don't know. I haven't done any research on that either. But what I can say is that if there is someone that has had that experience, that they will hopefully use that to turn their life around. I think we've been given other chances.
Once again, I thank you for your time and your sharing of your personal story. Hopefully this interview and my research that I've come up with has helped clarify this subject for you and the class. Thank you.